everyone. My name is Zora Nabirin, and I am the secretary for Think Yoruba First. Today, we're going to be discussing everything that has to do with Yorubanism, and today I have with me Mr. Rawaju Yusuf from Think Yoruba First. Mr. Rawaju, can you please introduce yourself and bring us into the topic of Yorubanism and how that associates with Think Yoruba First?
Thanks so much, and good afternoon. And I'm Rawaju Yusuf, a member and one of the frontier of Think Yoruba First. We have an idea of a kind of Yorubanism ideology, which emphasizes on the reawakening of the consciousness of preserving the Yoruba identity, culture, tradition, which is geared towards the moral philosophy called Omoluabi. So in essence, every Yoruba person identifies as an Omoluabi. So when we are talking about Omoluabi here, so the concept of Omoluabi emphasizes on the idea of being spoken or siso, having respect, iteriba, and having good conscience towards other inurere, and also being there to always stand for the truth, utito, and good conduct, which is iwapele, akikoju, which is also bravery, and nishelapa, which must be hardworking, and dignity. So it's unfortunate that this idea and ideology has been a while withered away among the Yoruba race. So when you talk about the idea of Yorubanism in the context of the Think Yoruba First theme, so it is an ideology that conservatism, republicanism, secularism, and modernism. So when you talk about conservatism, it talks about self-preservation, which I literally spoke about the other time, that it is important for the people of Yoruba race to preserve who they are so that they don't destroy themselves or they don't go to extinction. There are a lot of races that have gone to extinction as an ethnic group, which is the context of present-day Nigeria, and we all know that in Nigeria there's a struggle for power and resources, and the idea of creation of Nigeria is to destroy people's language, their culture, their borders, to destroy their value system and their Omoluabi. And unfortunately, Omoluabi is not an ideology that we can impose on other ethnic groups, because we also, as a people, must respect other people. So when we talk about this other principle, which is secularism, so secularism emphasizes on conservative economy of the Yoruba people. They must be able to conserve, they must be able to work on the laid down principles of the previous generation, progenitors, our ancestors, which made us who we are today. The wealth that has been gathered, the land, the culture, the beauty of our race, which is most revered in every part of the world today. We must be able to preserve it. So we also talk about defense. So present day Nigeria, there's no boundaries. People don't know where their boundaries start and their boundary ends. So for the Yoruba people to continue to exist, there must be an intentional act, intentional ideal for them to defend themselves. So when you talk about defense now, we are literally defenseless. So that is where you see Amotekun and some other vigilante group coming up because of the issue of insecurity presently in our land. So when we are brave enough to be able to save our territory and our civilization, just like our ancestors did in the 19th century, talking about the Fulani War, talking about the wars that happened throughout their time, we must also have that mindset. But Nigeria has actually taking that away from us. Human dignity, we must have human dignity for ourselves, because it is important that when you know yourself, your dignity is reserved. But unfortunately today, it is a thing of question, and we must not deny it. So there's also leadership. We must also have the trait of leadership so that we can be able to assure the next generation to meet a society that works. So another one is also republicanism. So this belief emphasizing on a form of government that gives citizens their own ability to choose who to represent them and who to not represent them. So, and in a free and fair election. So presently, we live in a kind of situation that it is a money tussle. It is somewhat something that has to do with how rich you are, irrespective of whatever ideology you have. Maybe you want to go there to destroy people. It doesn't matter. What matters is the individual interest. And this is really problematic. And that is why we are here. So there's also laicism. So we must always separate religion from the state. It is very important, because the idea that when a religion is imposed on the state, we are going to lose our dignity. We are going to be disrespected. We are going to force idea of some people on others, which might not even be the idea of the majority. So when this happens, it's a problem in the society. So we also have these ideas of modernism. So the Yoruba worldview and value system must be reformed to its best taste of the time, because societies evolve over time. And when society evolves and the people also understand their reality, they'll be able to relate with time. So presently, the Yoruba culture across the world is one of the most beautiful cultures, but unfortunately, we can't explore the beauty of our culture because of the fact that we are presently in a state of carnage where people who do not even understand our values are the one representing us. So you can look at a case of the recent nomination of a Yoruba movie, that people that are not Yoruba were the ones deliberating for it to be nominated in Oscar. So it is very incendiary, it's very disrespectful, and there's no boundaries are not there. But just because, we are Nigerians, people that don't even think like us, don't represent us,